Stay home, stay safe. Class 6th. This is your next lecture on the same topic, mapping, and we will be discussing about it in detail.
Hello students, today we will be discussing about the measuring of distances, and we will be discussing how the distance is measured on the ground and on the map. Okay, first of all you will be knowing that when we have to measure the distances on the ground, we measure it in the terms of metric scales like kilometers, meters. Fine. Similarly, the maps are drawn on the paper, so the distance is very small. We will measure it in centimeters. Okay, so the distance between the places on the ground is reduced proportionately, which means that there is the proportion between the map and the distance on the ground. Both are proportionate to each other. So this is done so that we don't have any problem when we find the distance on the map. It should not be like this, that we have found something, like we have found that it is, suppose it is 10 centimeters on the map, but on the ground it is something else. If I consider that 1 meter, 1 centimeter is equal to 1 meter or something like this way we have to be very proportionate about the map, about the distance and their measurements. Okay, so to show the area accurately on the map, this thing is being done. The distance is reduced proportionately. Like there is 1 kilometer is equal to 1 centimeter. Sometimes such kind of map can also be there. So if the point states that there is the difference between 2 points, like this point and this point is 1 centimeter, on the ground it will be 1 kilometer. So every map has a scale, and this distance between the space between the two places is known as distance. Map scale I have discussed earlier also. In this point only I have discussed with you that the map scale is the ratio between the two places you can say on the map to the actual distance. Like first on the, we will put the distance on the map on, we will take it in our numerator, and in the denominator we will be taking the actual distance between the two places on the ground. Okay, this way it is proportional. If a map is drawn to the scale of 1 centimeter equals to 1 kilometer, I have discussed this example, it means that the points or the places which are shown on the map with 1 centimeter of the distance on the map are 1 kilometer apart on the ground. This way the scale is shown on the map. The scale is shown in three ways. There are three ways to represent the scale. To show the scale in the maps, we show it in three different ways. Okay, first of all, it is expressed verbal scale. The distance or the relationship between the distance on the map and distance is expressed in a simple statement, you can say, like 1 centimeter represents 1 kilometer. 5 kilometers I have written here. Okay, which means that if the distance between the 2 points on the map is 1 centimeter, it will be equal to 5 kilometers on the ground. The ratio is 1 centimeter to 5 kilometers. You can also write 1 upon 5. Okay, this can also be written 1 centimeter upon 5 kilometers. This is okay, but we can't take the fraction in the different units, so that's why you don't have to write in this way. You have to express 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometers. Next is your graphic and the linear scale. It consists of a horizontal line with equal divisions marked on it. It is like a scale. It is like this, and horizontal it is, and the line.
You can see these two pictures in order to understand it in a better way. These are the two pictures of the scale.
Line has demarcations on it. It is having different lines marked on it. In the figure you can see it very carefully, that here also I'll be telling you that in this way I have drawn a single line. Okay, and this point I have marked 0. Okay, fine, this is 0. Before this I will be marking certain points, and I'll be marking like this. I'll be marking small boxes I'll be drawing, and next one will be your, like this is 1, this is 2, and so on to 3, this way. Let it be kilometers. Okay, but this is 1/10 of that part. This is 1/10 of the kilometer. 1 kilometer is equal to how many meters? 1000. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. So this will be 1/10 part, which means 1 upon 10 into, this will be 100 meters. This scale will be having the marks of 100 meters. Okay, why it is done, and what is this part called and this part called, we will be discussing that. First of all, the primary scale, the part which is to the right, this part is known as primary scale, and it shows the full units of the measure, like 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 3 kilometers, or 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 miles, this way. The secondary scale is the other part. This one is the secondary scale, this 1/10 part. It is also known as the extension scale. It is divided into tenths. Tenths means 1 upon 10 of the unit of the measure for measuring the smaller distances. In order to measure the small distances, like in order to measure meters, in my meters, if I have to measure something as the distance is less, so it is very helpful in such kind of distance measurements. Okay, the advantage of graphic scale is that it remains true even if the map is enlarged or the map is reduced. Even if we e- enlarge the map, or if we reduce the map, we contract the map also, then also it is true, it remains true. Next is your representative fraction. What is representative fraction? It expresses the map scale in the form of a ratio. I have told you in the last part also, I have told you that ratio we take 1 kilometer, 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometers, that part. Because the units are not specified in this part, in representative fraction, that part we had in the previous one, in the verbal one we had the units also, but in this part we don't have the units. This can be expressed into fractions. That one we can't express in fractions, because in that one we had units. In this one we are not concerned with the units, so we can write it in like this: 1 is to 25,000, which means that 1 unit on the map represents 25 units on 2500, sorry, 25,000 units on the ground. Okay, so we can also write it 1 upon 25,000. Maps are, you can say, we can divide maps as per the scale also, like small scale maps and large scale maps. We will be discussing its difference in detail.
So the difference is small scale maps are drawn to greater distances, like 1 centimeter is equal to the 100 kilometers or more. But the large scale maps, you can see a big picture. Okay, so it is drawn like 1 centimeter is equal to 1 kilometer or less than 1 kilometer. The small scale maps cover the large area, as you can see, but in large scale maps, but the scale area is covered, but in detail it is covered. Like you zoom something, okay, so it is large scale, but without zoom it is small scale. In small scale maps we can't find out the details, but in large scale we can see the trees, buildings, bus stops, everything can be seen. Like in a image, you can say, in an image you can see the details when you zoom that image. So the zoomed part is known as the large scale. Okay, the small scale covers the examples are given, and in this also the large scale examples are given. Small scales are used for areas like countries, continents, but the other one, the large scales, are used for the neighborhoods, towns, the small areas, to study in detail and find out the distance.
Moving towards the conventional signs and symbols. Conventional signs and symbols are some, it is the important part of the map. These are some signs and symbols which are used to represent different features on the map, and they are used to make the map neater. As if we will we will be writing many things on the map, it will become untidy. So to avoid all those things, these maps are with symbols. The maps we study, these are with symbols. And why are these called conventional signs and symbols? The reason behind that is there are some common signs and symbols which are used to represent certain things, like mountains, like a national, you can say wildlife sanctuaries, you can say all such things. So they are known as conventional signs and symbols, as they are common all over the world. You can say post office, railway tracks, all these things. Now we will be discussing that.
Now we will be discussing the signs and symbols, the conventional signs and symbols. Boundaries, you can see the international, state, and the district boundaries is given. Roads are given metalled, double lined, and unmetalled double lined, but they are not regular. Town, bridge, stream, dam, wells, and tanks. Railway, your fort, temple, church, mosque, grass, shrubs, forest, post office, PO is written, telegraph office, TO is written, police station, PS is written over there. So these are the conventional symbols used in map.
Next, we will be discussing the key and the legend. Key and the legend, you can see the key and the legend. It is present in each and every map. The small box present, it is present mostly on the right side, but it can be present anywhere, but it is present on a map, and it explains what each sign and symbol is used for. For example, if I am using a triangle, I have to mark why I am using this triangle, whether I am using this for mountain, whether I'm using this from certain thing, whatever I want to use. If I am using star for water body, I have to mark that, and I have to write down that I am using a star. This star is for water bodies, this triangle is for mountains, so I have to mark that. So this helps to understand the map, and without a key, a map would be meaningless. We will not be able to understand that what kind of things, what kind of signs and symbols are present on the map. Then is it possible to understand the map? It is not possible to understand the map. Okay, so this is very important, and these are the boxes drawn mostly in the bottom corner of the map. Mostly they are present in the bottom corner, but they can be present anywhere, and key or legend is always written on that box. Okay, you can see it in the picture as well.
Here you can see the boxes, the legends are there, the key is there, the references are given. Okay, thank you students. Stay home, stay safe, and learn your work.